Oh, it took me a while. I should have filmed it, but I got all that rubber off of there and patched up my scraped pieces and primered it, masked it, and I just now painted the whole thing. It's raining outside. It's cool in here. You can see a few little places in it there that I didn't really fix real good, but I don't care because the windshield is going to sit on top of that. And I'll have a little edge right at that crack where the red meets the cleared red. But I got about 4 light wet coats on there, and should be pretty good. I hit the inside of the doors here in a couple more places. I've got the lights turned off right now, but this dash should be good now. I had a little paint. I should have planned a little more. I need some here on top, but I got a whole quart, so got plenty of red paint now. Probably run out of hardener for something, but we'll just press along. A little paint booth. I got a whole bunch of tools the other day. Got this whole box for $10, and man, they must be 75 little 1/4-inch drive stuff. Little fancy ratchets and short stubby things, handles, extensions, all kinds of stuff. Got a bunch more tools too, but anyway, this will dry a couple days and I'll be ready to put that windshield back in. It should be done. Well, I'm back on the 29. I took my windshield frame out to the glass guys, and they cut a new piece. I had my template piece of plexiglass, and I asked them not to glue it into the frame because I wanted to try it and maybe I could grind the glass off or something because it wasn't perfectly square. But somehow they miscommunicated and just glued it in, and so I had about a 1/16 of an inch up there where it was hitting a roof, and it just wouldn't go in. So I took a porta power and put me a big piece of steel here on the bottom of the cowl, ran it up against the roof, and tried to bend that roof up just a little bit, and it looks like I did a pretty good job. At least it went in now, and I got a lot of clearance over there, which I didn't have before at all, and looks like it's hitting right in here, but I'm pretty close. I've got a lot of gap right in there. It looks like it's starting to hit right about where that hole is for the windshield wiper. Anyway, I'm gonna continue fooling around with this till I can get it in. Once I get it in, then I'll put some tape and glue on it where it's supposed to go, and we'll just see if it'll go in. If I have to, I don't know how to get that glass out of there. I think I could probably heat it up with a heat gun and cut it loose. I don't know. I'll call them and ask them if I have to take that glass out. But I think I'll be good just bending the roof here. Let's see if I can get this in and see what happens. Oh, that popped in pretty good. I still have that little gap in there, but I'm going to fill that. It went in. I can see now, before it was touching right here, and I can see daylight. I can see daylight through the crack there, right in the middle, kind of all the way along there. And it looks like it's getting real tight and hitting right here. There we go. It was, focus went out, but it's right in this in the left side. It looks like it's pretty good all along there. It's touching here, and I got right there on that very corner. I'll get over there and kind of hammer that with my hand and see if I can knock it in a little. Well, it went in pretty good here at the bottom. I can still see that it needs some more right there. And I just went through the whole business of getting this thing painted, where I ripped the paint off before. And it looks like it's probably starting to catch right about here in the middle. I can push on it and I can see it move. I'm afraid that if I don't want to put my mounting bolts in it, I could, but that's gonna twist the windshield a little bit. I don't know how much good or bad that'll do. But I think what I need to do is get right up in here in this corner. Take a little more off of this, the frame itself, so it'll go down. I guess I could grind a little off of the outside of the frame, but I think I'll be better off just grinding this right here, because I can go quite a bit before I ever go through it or get to the glass. And it's pretty solid all the way around. And I might, you know, if I would do a little jack right in there, that might bring it down, but I can see that it's only hitting right here in this corner, and it would probably be okay. I don't know if I want to pull it out, try to grind that off a little. I was going to put silicone in it and then kind of squish the window up into it. Well, not silicone, windshield sealer, but that stuff's messy, and I think I'd just get it all over everything. I think I'd be better off just leaving it like it is, just putting a bead across here. And the same thing on the outside. I think that would be a much cleaner option. Anyway, let's see how hard this thing is to get out. I'll try to trim this corner up a little bit. Well, I massaged that dash a little right over in that corner. Got the window out pretty easy. I didn't really clean it up a lot here. I've got some rubber sticking on it and things from putting it in. That was all good because this was painted, and I worked on this corner just a little bit. I just stuck some red paint on it, and I sanded this corner out where it was hitting. It was just Bondo in there, so I think I'm pretty good to go here. Then I just took a Q-tip and put some red paint on it right where I went into the Bondo. It's all going to be covered up by the window, and I can touch this up. I've got my stuff's called Silk Effect Flex primer to glass, primerless to glass. I warmed this up. This is probably about 75 degrees. I found that when it's cold, it's really hard to get it out of that tube. So I'm going to put a little bead right along this top piece here. So hopefully when I force it up in there, that'll make some kind of a seal. I'll still have a big gap on, well, all the way around. And this back of this window here, you see I got a 1/4 inch gap in that, but it's glued good on the back, so that's my next deal. Put a little bit on top. I decided not to try to put it on the cowl here because it'll just make a mess. That stuff is really nasty, and once it dries, man, it's almost impossible to get off. So I'll get the window in and where it's supposed to go, mounted down good, and then I'll fill the edges. I'll show you what's going on when I get this window up in there again. Well, that turned out real nice. I got just enough on it to kind of squish out, and I got these bolts in it good, and the frame's where it needs to go. It's all good and flat. I don't have it straight with the dash. You know, I got a 1/2 inch over here, probably 3/8 over there, but that's the way it goes. But it's sealed good on top, and it's holding it in. I warmed that up with the heat gun, so any stress is gonna be able to get relieved in that rubber. So it looks like it's gonna work good. I'll have to seal this. I'll put some tape on it first so I don't get it all over the place. And I have to seal the front of this windshield. This big gap in here. I think what I'm going to do is put a piece of tape on it So in case I mess up, I don't get this stuff all over the place. It's nasty and it's hard to clean up. But I have my little tube stuff down here. I had a heat gun running on it, so it's pretty warm. Probably about 75 or so. And hopefully it'll be easy to pump. This gun is not that good, but this stuff is hard to squeeze out. Here's the results of that. I squeezed it in there. Looks like I got a little place right there I need to clean up, and then drug the tool along top of it that wiped it kind of clean. And yeah, I gotta straighten that out. And all I did was just pull the tool along it. And this is the same angle, so I'll just clean that up. Hopefully that looks pretty good, actually. I'm hoping that it will stick to the glass. It'll stick to that metal, I know, because it's a big hole. You can't really see on this side, but I could see rust in it on the inside of the metal from this side. But I think I got that all filled. And then I'll have to fill this little corner here. Looks like my top turned out pretty good. I got a little bit of squeeze out, but I'm not really too concerned about that because you're not going to see it unless you get up under there and look. And so anyway, this is I paid $100 or a little over 100, something close to that, for a piece of plexiglass that was big enough to make that. I put it in and I used the same glue, and first time I got to 50 miles an hour, plexiglass came loose from the frame on top where the wind was hitting it. And then of course my wiper was scratching it, and I paid $84 for this piece of glass cut. I'd have been better off just getting glass to start with. I've still got plexiglass in the door windows here. They're probably about 60 bucks a piece. And getting them out is a little bit of a problem because I glued some of the mounts in. So I'm going to just leave the plexiglass alone in the sides for now. They may streak a little bit, they may scratch, but that's not going to be that big a deal. Or a windshield wiper swiping on it is a big deal. And so now the glass is in and where it's supposed to go, I can finish up the mounts on this wiper, get it where it all hits right, turns straight, and press on. Oh, by the way, these old seats here, they're great for free, but you know, they're pretty chewed up and I can't find covers for them, and they're cloth. So I got a set of Chrysler Magnum seats here. I cleaned up the top there. You can see it had a little stain right there where the seat belt was. This is the passenger seat. It's manual, but it's got electric driver's seat. So this is good leather, so I think I can clean it up real good. And I'll get me some burgundy or dark red dye, and I'll dye these seats. But they give it a, you know, much better looking than these old raggedy things. And even though I painted them, it's already coming off. And they're going to be real tight, but I think I'm going to have about an inch in there. These are, I think, 19 inches, and that seat back there is 22. So they're going to almost touch, or they will touch maybe in the middle, but they'll clear the door, and I'll figure out a way to mount those, and that'll make a big difference in the way this thing looks. I'll just let this dry and pull that tape off there. Probably have to use a razor blade, cut it right at the edge, and I think I'll have a pretty decent looking seam there, and it for sure won't leak. I got to thinking about it, and I know this stuff gets really tough when it's dry, so I just went ahead and pulled the tape off while it was still wet, and that gave me a nice clean line where I got onto it. I need to fix this little piece right here in the middle. Let me get the light on it. It's not bad, but I know every time I look at it, it'll irritate me. So I fixed a little place right here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Good enough for a rat rod. I got a little up on the window there, but I'll cut that off with a razor blade, and it'll make it a nice sharp edge. I don't want to try to smear it around with my finger. Like I say, this stuff gets everywhere and it's hard to get off. I'll clean up my fingers with some acetone. But that looks pretty good. That filled that gap up real nice. Won't leak. I'll have to run another little bead right in here. Seal that bottom piece. It shouldn't leak water. It looks pretty good. We'll see tomorrow when it dries out what I can do. The end on this thing is really big. I've got a smaller one here somewhere. Well, this was kind of a handy buy. I bought all these little sockets. But anyway, I got a small one I'll use to fill these corners with. And we'll just move on that. Next thing, I guess, is to get up there and put that wiper back in and make sure my spacer and everything's right. And that holds the wiper straight down. Well, kind of jumping around here, but here's part of this video with the heater hose. I got both of those on there and in through the firewall, and I tested it up, started it, ran it. Kind of see it under there. No leaks. It airs well, or blows air. This window turned out nice here. Rubber's good and hard. I just need to take a razor blade, clean that up a little bit. Window's good and solid. I mounted my windshield driver up in there. You see it up there. It works good. I haven't put soap and water on it or anything, but it's turning. It goes to the auto lock position and stops. So now I've got this piece of wood here that I was using for a door skin, and I need to cover that. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick, and it's just really thin. It's not even plywood, just a sheet veneer with some foam rubber. I put two pieces together and glued it, but it'll probably work. I've got this all glued together now. Super solid. Well, I thought it was super solid. Looks like the glue broke right off. Guess I'll mix up some more and put in there. It was solid. It's kind of weird that would break. Probably just because it was probably had a little dirt or something in it. Anyway, GIB quick didn't stick to it. I'll mix up some more. I think this time I'll drill a hole right down through there, so it'll have a little butt plug and make a mechanical weld. But anyway, I'm gonna put this door panel up here and figure out how I'm gonna drill holes in it and use those mounting tabs. So I gotta locate where this panel's gonna go, figure out exactly how I am gonna mount it. I'll be okay here on the bottom and on this aluminum piece up here in the front. I'll have to drill a bigger hole and figure out how I'm going to put in the little pop-in keepers, and then I'll have to trim the door panel so I clear the doors and everything. And I got to pull this seat out of here. I've got this one here. I showed a little on one of these videos. It's gonna clean up okay. I'm not completely sure how it's gonna fit in here. I think I'll just unscrew this seat out of here and put the other one in and see what it looks like.